What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel here. My name is Sam. This is Lake Pro Tackle. We are located up in Gainesville, Texas, and we've got a whole bunch of rods, reels, and tackle in store here and online. Maybe you've seen us in one of the Guggen Squad videos or Weston Smith videos where we have the full complete worm bar full of bulk soft plastic baits that you can buy. We've got a bunch of cool stuff, exclusives as well. We get some stuff in custom made for the store that you can only buy online or in store here, and you can't find anywhere else. So definitely check all that out, lakeprotackle.com. All these lures here you can also find online. We've got a very interesting video today. Stay tuned till the very end, and I'm gonna show you a very, very hard to find lure that you might be interested in as well. But all these lures here are gonna be some rare, hard to find, and old lures that I could find sitting around the shop here. So let's go ahead and hop into it. But before we do that, guys, head over to the Instagram and Facebook at Lake Pro Tackle. Give us a follow on those. We really appreciate it. And our next goal is going to be 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So help us reach that goal. We just did a big giveaway for 1,000, and let's go ahead and dive into some of these lures here. We're gonna go ahead, pick up the first one here. This is a man's bait here. This is going to be a hard-nosed worm. This is a 12-pack of worms here, and you can see I'm gonna take them out of the package, but look at that packaging there. Looks a little older, you know, Mans is still around. Obviously the jelly worm, Paul Elias, and the damage he did on Falcon and some of those southern lakes down in Texas. But that's it right there. Guys, look at that. It's just a simple, plain old worm, nothing to it. The hard nose is going to be the top piece of plastic there, which is a little bit harder, so it's not gonna tear up as much as you catch fish on it and stuff like that. This lure here is also hollow in the middle of it, so it's gonna be very buoyant. It has a ton of salt on it, guys, with this curly tail, and it kind of smells a little weird, kind of smells a little funky, so I'm gonna put this one back. But if you wanna buy any of these, maybe you are a fan of these hard-nosed worms by Mans, you can find them online at lakeprotackle.com, guys, so go check it out. All right, next one I found, if you're a brand new fisherman, maybe younger generation fisherman, maybe you've seen these around Walmart and stuff, but these are cream lures. This one's a little older one, so this is going to be a 4-inch creature. Now, I believe they still have these around, just got some older packaging, and these are basically like your OG brush hog. So if you're familiar with like Zoom and stuff, this literally is about the exact same thing. 4 inches, baby brush hog type lure, nothing too special about it. You know, this one's not too old, you know, cream's still around, and this is actually not some of the oldest packaging that they have. So that's just one I want to throw in here, just finding some old stuff around the shop. I think it's pretty interesting. If you come to the store, I think you'll have a blast. We've got 2 separate buildings. This one here that I'm in, it's got all the rods, reels, and hard baits, and the other one over there is going to have all the soft plastics. So next up, this isn't a super old package of these either, but I decided to throw these in, just a little throwback. These used to be huge when soft plastics just started coming out. This is going to be the Culprit Fat Max worm. Now this is going to be a 6-inch worm. The body of it is going to be pretty similar to that Mans worm. You know, back then, almost everyone was using about the same, you know, molds and stuff for their worms, but it's going to be a fatter style worm, curly tail. So as you move stuff around in the water, that tail's gonna move, but it's gonna have a bigger presence because of the body here. So these guys here, again, not super expensive. And look, they even have, it says hot new lure. Not anymore, not very hot, but definitely, I'm sure these still catch fish. And if you wanna see a challenge video where I take all these out in the water and try to catch fish on them, let me know and I can probably do that for y'all. Next up here, we have these right here. These are super, super cool. This is Berkeley's little bit older packaging, not too old. This is going to be the Chigger Craw Bearded Crazy Legs Chigger Craw. So a huge mouthful to say. These are caked in like salt dust, and they have almost like a jig trailer on the back of it with just a regular crazy legged Chigger Craw right there. So what adds to the bait is it's almost like a jig without having a jig. You know, you can see the skirt kind of going around there, the bearded part, and then the Chigger Craw. So, you know, you can throw this on a Texas rig. If you don't want to throw a jig, it remains really weedless, and that was the whole idea behind these. Now, I still think these baits are super cool. You can definitely catch fish on them. And, you know, some baits that are pretty comparable to this are going to be like your Yamamoto's, like Ika grubs and stuff like that, where it has the skirt and it has like claws and stuff to imitate crawfish. So these here, they still kind of smells like power bait, so definitely check those out. Next up, we've got some older V&M baits here. These guys here, what are these? These are some V&M Mud Bugs. Now these are just craw style baits. I think they're pretty cool. Definitely will still catch fish for you. But pretty simple craw looking bait. It's got a almost open pore body to it, so it's gonna be flat on the bottom and it's gonna have some ridges and stuff on top. But there you go, right there. It's got a good amount of action on it. The claws are really long, and they did add a little bit of extra plastic at the front end of these claws here, so as they move through the water, it's gonna kick a little bit harder. But I can imagine this on a drop shot pretty good. You know, if you have like a cover shot hook or something where it's rigged like this and the claws just kind of move around, I think that'd be very, very deadly. And I think, you know, back of a jig trailer as well, this is going to be really good. So these V&M baits, a little bit older. Back when V&M was actually their own company and they didn't sell out. They just recently sold out, if you didn't know. Bayou Outdoors Incorporated back in Louisiana. So these V&M baits, super cool. Next up, if you're really new to fishing, you probably haven't heard of these. These are Lunker City Slug-Gos, but if you're an older style fisherman, you probably know exactly what these are. These are kind of like your OG Senkos to me. But these Slug-Gos, I mean, it's like, imagine a fluke and imagine someone taking it and just stretching it out really long, and that's all this Slug-Go is. It's really cool. It's basically a great bait to fish any weight, like a Senko and also kind of like a fluke. But the Slug-Go here, make a bunch of different sizes, and for some reason we have a ton of these in inventory. So randomly, I mean just random times out of the year, there'll be like a week where we sell like 50 of these bags. But these Slug-Gos here, these are 6-inch, and you get like 10 per bag. So for quite a bargain there, only $7 for a bunch of baits. That's a good price range right there. So we're almost to the really, really cool item that I want to share with y'all, and we only have 2 of them left. So once I put this up, guys, they're probably going to go pretty quick. But before we get into that one, here's one that I found. Now this one isn't, I mean, it's not old, but this one here is going to be the River to Sea Clacking Crayfish 90. We've got a bunch of different colors in these. What's really awesome about these clacking crayfish, which I'm actually kind of surprised these didn't take off more than they did. You know, I'm sure they caught a bunch of fish for people, but it wasn't it wasn't like a huge bait for people to go and get, which is understandable. So basically the whole principle behind this is you're gonna tie your line down at the back end here, and as you reel it along, the tail of the other crawfish actually makes it kind of move up and down, creating a clacking noise. So that clacking crayfish, it's a little gimmicky, I'm not gonna lie, but it was just one interesting hard bait that I wanted to throw in here. Hard baits we don't have too many of. We've got some old Strike King buzz baits where the skirts are like falling off, so we'll probably just give them to y'all at like a major discount, so definitely check that out. But finally, we're gonna talk about a bait in here that has been influential, to say the least, in the fishing space. So what I'm talking about is the River to Sea Whopper plopper. Now here is a current packaging of a Whopper plopper. Let me help y'all out there. So here is a current packaging of a Whopper plopper. Now, back when these Whopper ploppers really started to get going, guys, they were huge. The Whopper plopper really took off, designed, and sorry, our windows are being cleaned, and I don't think she can see me in here filming stuff, so that's okay. But, so Larry Dahlberg was the main guy to basically design these and produce these here. So this is the Whopper plopper that you all know and love right there. So the original Whopper ploppers, which we have 2 of them left, guys. So these are going to be like your original packaging ones. There's actually a big difference between the new ones and the old ones, and not a lot of people know that. So the original ones, I'm gonna let y'all take a listen here. I'm gonna hold these hooks down, and I'm gonna hold everything in place so nothing really rattles, so you get a true essence for the bait here. So I'm gonna shake both of these, and I wanna see if y'all can hear a difference, because these ones right here, the older ones, or the very first generation ones, are hard to find because of this reason. So I'm gonna shake the new one here. Hear that? Now I'm gonna shake the older one. Now I'm gonna shake them at the same time, see if you can hear the difference. So maybe you can't quite hear it through your ends just because the mic and stuff, but from shaking this one here and having this one here right next to me, I can hear a major difference. Now, I don't know if it's the different plastic or what, but this one seems to be extremely, extremely loud compared to this one here. It's almost like the beads in this one have been deafened out. The hooks are also very, very different. So the hooks on the new ones are very, very thick compared to the old ones, about probably like 2 to 3 times thicker. These ones here on the original are really, really thin wire, but these are the last ones we have, and I think they're super cool. It's definitely a blast from the past, a relic that has caught so many fish for a bunch of different anglers out there. So if you are looking for these, or if you have been looking for these, definitely go hit them up. The tail is a lot softer than the new one as well. The new one is, again, I think it's just a lot stronger plastic. I think that they were going for more durability when they were building the new ones. But this one here, the tail is super, super soft. The back end moves a little bit, and it's definitely a lot louder, has different hooks. So a lot of people have been looking for these, and we're almost sold out, guys. So go get them, lakeprotackle.com. I really appreciate all y'all watching. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time at Lake Pro Tackle.